thing that I was experiencing through my training was a lot of my students really never knew the history of printmaking, like why do we make prints? And the motivation for me to have a studio and to actually make art with other artists has been actually sort of the blossoming of my life. And I'm very proud to be at this point, to be able to work with these artists. But essentially I wanted to track back. I realized I didn't know much about my history and where I came from. And so I wanted to just present to you a brief video about a project I'm working on separate from my work called the Midwest Matrix. And the concept is, why did printmaking get really going in the Midwest of the United States? And going to Indiana, you know, I grew up and I thought everybody had a litho studio, and an etching studio, and a screen print studio. But it's really not the case. And out of these mentors and teachers I had, I went back just over the last 5 years, I've been gathering interviews of people in their 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, from the East Coast to the West Coast, about why did you become a printmaker? How did you set up a studio? How do you do what you do? And I learned that there were a lot of, after World War II, the GI Bill was a really big catalyst for a lot of people going back to school that couldn't afford to go to school. And out of those generations of the GIs that came back, a lot of them really changed the notion of print education. Mauricio Lazansky is a very famous name who was in his 90s, who wanted the print to be big and would enter shows in New York and change the parameters for scale. And so I wanted to just present this to you because it's a project that I'm working on, and I wanted you to see that this is why I'm doing what I'm doing now. And this is why all these wonderful people are actually making prints. And in the time of digital arts, you know, handmade things are maybe not as valued. But it's alive and well printmaking. And that's what I wanted to share with you this morning. So I'm just going to show you this. It's a little brief interview of some of these people who were my teachers. And then the artists are going to talk about their work a little bit, and we're going to give you a little overview of what the heck you're looking at on the walls. So.